Ayan. So, simulan na natin yung debate kasi marami na nag-iintay sa comment sections. Yung mga viewers natin nag-iintay na rin kanina pa. So, go ahead, Sir 80s teacher. 10 minutes opening statement. Truth is relative. The affirmative. Go ahead.
Ayan. So, thank you ulit sa roundtable. Salamat kay Jordan sa discussion na ito. Maraming salamat sa mga nanonood. Again, sa facilitator namin na si Ilu. Salamat sa pagpapa-unlock on time. Okay. So, now, let's proceed with my opening statement. No? Let's first define relative truth. So, relative truth is simply defined as a true statement depending on the point of reference. Which means that true statement, pasuyo ako, pwedeng paulit kasi ang ingay ni Vince.
Ayan, sige, go ahead.
Ayan.
Ng time, SP.
Ayan.
Go ahead.
So, okay, no?
Go ahead, Sir 80s.
Alright. So, first, in every discussion, let's first define the concept at use. So, relative truth is simply defined as a true statement depending on the point of reference, which means that true statement depends on the context we are talking about. For example, no, my counterpart may say things that we can consider true, no, such as the famous "a bachelor is an unmarried man." Now, I won't dispute this because this is true, no? But rather, I would point out that this is only true in the point of reference we are talking about being single or being married. But in education, it also means that someone is an undergraduate degree. And another example is in medieval times where a bachelor means a young knight under another's banner. So now the term bachelor is neither absolute nor objective, but rather relative to a point of reference. Again, I'm not arguing that truth doesn't exist, but rather truth is dependent on the context and use of language and every point of reference, and not objective nor absolute. Now that we get that out of the way, let's try to dissect the arguments that my opponent will try to use and destroy that this early so that you, listeners, will not be fooled by his equivocation. So first, let's define objectivity of truth. So objective truth can be defined in three ways. One, being objective as independent of the mind. Number two, objective as in universally applicable. And number three, as absolute or unchanging. Now, let's defeat them one by one. Now, in the sense of independent of the mind, is that really the case? Of course not. Because as a theist, my opponent, no, will believe that no single thing is independent of the mind, and it will be absurd because propositions such as reality is not, because even in theistic perspective, it is still dependent in the mind of God. So again, you cannot use that something that is true is independent of the mind. Now, let's proceed to number two. Definition with universal applicability. Now, my opponent will try to persuade you in mathematical truths such as a circle is round or 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. This may seem universally applicable, but it's not. Mathematical truths are axiom, which means they are generally accepted, but it is not always true. Because when we talk about fluid, such as water, the model collapses. Because 1 drop of water plus 1 drop of water is not equal to 2 drops, but remains a single drop. Because mathematical truths are again axiom, which depends on the systems we create, making them relative to a given framework. Now, let's go further to the definition number 3. Objective truth as an absolute or unchanging. A good example of this is the law of non-contradiction and the proposition, something cannot come from nothing because nothing doesn't exist. Well, of course, at first glance, you may agree, but let's destroy this too. In quantum physics, particles have the capacity to appear and disappear in a vacuum because of quantum fluctuations. Because in science, everything is relative to the context and dependent to every point of reference. Alright? So now, in this sense, I would also like to point out that true statements isn't only contained in classical logic. We have paraconsistent logic that challenge this. For example, and I quote, "This statement is false," which shows that contradictions exist. And they can exist because this statement is false. If true, then it must be false. And if this statement is true, then it must be false. Paraconsistent logic allows contradiction without collapsing the system. There is also another system that allows contradiction, such as fuzzy logic, but not constricting the answers in true or false, but rather provide a more systematic estimate of methods of discernment, which is a useful tool in determining medical conditions, AI systems, and safety measures. A good example of this is the anti-brake lock system of motor vehicle, which isn't tied to the idea of being only either slippery or non-slippery, but rather calculates the surface traction in order to provide better braking capacity. Now, for my counterpart to have an edge in this discussion, he may try to semantically argue rather than intellectually, such as, is it true that all truths are relative? Right? So this may seem like a gotcha moment for you, but it really isn't. It is really just a vile attempt because of his lack of understanding in this matter. Because I've already said that there are true statements and answering yes or no cannot give him an advantage because the question is it true that all truths are relative can be understood in a relative framework. And we must remember that this is circular questioning. I'm not here to argue about the absoluteness of relativity, but rather I am simply acknowledging its own contextual nature. So finally, I urge my opponent to result in intellectual discussion rather than just petty semantic questioning. He must not also equivocate relative truth to subjective truth. Now that I answered all of his possible arguments, I leave you, the viewers and listeners, to carefully listen to what he's going to do. And finally, and the last nail in the coffin, let's point out that there are so-called objectivity, right? So their so-called objectivity is not absolute, but is also relative. Relative to what? Relative to people sharing their belief. And relative to the demographic it applies to. Relative to language, measurement, and cultural context. Because let's point out, no, and remember that they cannot be hypocrites. Christians such as him, no, Revealed Reason or Jordan, believe that Jesus is both man and God. Not only it violates the law of non-contradiction, but also violates the law of identity. And with that, I end my opening statement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Atheist Teacher. Just to interject for like a bit seconds, sa mga nakikinig sa opening statement ni Sir AT, he showed how truth can be relative when it comes to the point of reference. Sir Atheist Teacher emphasized that truth is dependent sa mind, whether it's human mind, whether it's the mind of the God. He then showed classical logic is not as absolute as we know it. Now, let's hear from Sir Jordan Rovanes, his opening statement. Go ahead, Sir Jordan. You have 10 minutes.
Testing, naririnig po ba ako?
Yes, naririnig ka po. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. So yeah, good evening, and I want to thank my opponent for engaging in this discussion. However, before we even begin, I must point out something very, very crucial. By simply showing up to debate, my opponent has already lost. Why? Because debate presupposes absolute truth. If truth were only relative, then there would be no reason for my opponent to try to convince anyone of his position. After all, if truth depends on individual or cultural preferences, then my opponent's arguments are only true for him and he has no basis or grounding basis for persuading others to adopt his view. In other words, he is acting as if absolute truth exists, which means he has already refuted his own position. First point, the self refutation of relativism. The claim that truth is relative immediately collapses under its own weight or under its own terms. If the statement truth is relative is true, then it is only relative true or relatively true, meaning it is not necessarily true for me or for you, those who are listening, or for anyone else. That makes it completely arbitrary and self-defeating. But if my opponent insists that truth is relative in an objectively true statement, means truth must be relative to all people, then he has contradicted his own position because that would be an absolute truth claim. Either way, relativism is self-refuting and cannot stand. Second point, human preferences does not reduce truth to relativism. Now, my opponent may try to argue that because human beings have different cultural values, traditions, and opinions, this means that truth itself is relative. But this is a category mistake. Just because people disagree about truth does not mean that there is no objective truth or absolute truth. That would be like arguing that because people have different tastes in food, therefore there is no objective reality about nutrition or human biology. Consider a sample or simple example. Some cultures drive on the right side of the road and others drive on the left. This is a matter of convention. So yung ano no, ito yung left-handed yung sasakyan or right-handed yung sasakyan. But regardless of what a culture decides, the law of physics remain the same. Driving into incoming or oncoming traffic at high speed will have objective consequences. Likewise, moral, logical, metaphysical truths do not only depend on human preferences or cultural norms, they are grounded in something far greater than societal opinions. They are grounded. They are grounded in the absolute nature of God. Third point, Jesus Christ, the truth incarnate. Now that relativism has been exposed as self refuting, we must ask, what is the foundation for truth? The answer is found in the person of Jesus Christ. Jesus declared in John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Truth is not a societal construct, nor is it impersonal principle. It is grounded in the very nature of God Himself. Truth is absolute because God is absolute. The laws of logic reflect His rational nature. Moral absolutes flow from His perfect character, and the uniformity of reality is upheld by His sovereign power. That's from Colossians 1:17, Hebrews 1:3. Now, only the Christian worldview provides the necessary foundation for truth, knowledge, and rational thought. Every time my opponent appeals to logic, reason, or truth, he is borrowing from the Christian worldview because his own worldview cannot account for these things. Every time my opponent tries to reason against my position, he is already appealing to the absoluteness of logic that governs his very reasoning. And that is why his position is self defeating. For a point, the burden on my opponent. Tonight, my opponent faces an impossible challenge. He must first defend relativism without contradicting himself or appealing to objective and absolute truth. Justify logic as the necessary precondition for reasoning. Justify truth as his necessary precondition for his reasoning and even obtaining knowledge or making knowledge claims. But as I have already demonstrated, he has lost before he even began. His participation in this debate refutes his own position because relativism cannot be rationally defended without presupposing absolute truth, without presupposing the Christian worldview. His position, his rationality, his reliability of the reliability of his senses, those things, those preconditions presupposes my truth. Thus, relativism is not only false, it is also impossible. It cannot even be argued for without assuming the very absolutes that only the Christian worldview provides. Ultimately, apart from Christ, truth is unintelligible, but in Him we have the foundation for knowledge, reason, and salvation. I look forward to my opponent's response. Thank you so much. I will yield my remaining 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Jordan Ravanes, for that wonderful opening statement. Sir Jordan Ravanes exposes the flaws in relativism. He showed that you cannot make sense of your claim if truth is relative. He pointed out that cultural, personal differences does not necessarily mean there's not such a thing as absolute truth. So habang patagal ng patagal yung discussion, painit ng painit. So what are we waiting for? We will now proceed sa rebuttal stage. Sir 80, you will have 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Right? So, gusto ko lang i-point out, So, this debate is not about presupposing knowledge like what he is claiming. This is about discussing whether truth is objective or relative. Now, I'm not denying that truth doesn't exist. No? Sinabi ko sa opening ko yan. No, I'm not saying that truth doesn't exist. I acknowledge that there are truths, but truths are dependent in the point of reference. No? So, nakakatuwa kasi yung opening niya, nagmumula sa equivocation of subjective truth and relative truth. No? Hindi ko naman ina-argue na every perspective is valid. No? And yung sentiment, every sentiment is valid. No? I'm arguing that truth, can be relative dependent on point of reference. No, nagbigay ako ng mga example niyan kanina. No? Like, this statement is false. So if you want to assume that that statement is true, then that makes the statement false. And if you want to assume that statement is false, or understand that that statement is false, then it becomes true. So relative, hindi ibig sabihin subjective, ha? Magkaiba po yan, makinig po tayo. No? So, the problem with absolute truth and objective truth, it collapses in its own weight. What do I mean by that? No? You cannot claim something is objective without first assuming. Tulad ng ginawa niya kanina. Inassume niya may absolute truth without giving an example. No? Inassume niya agad, pinresuppose niya agad that etong debate na to is about precondition of knowledge. Hindi no? What we're discussing about is the relativity and objectivity of truth, not the validity of Christianity or not the foundation or precondition of knowledge. No? Madalas ko napapansin yan sa mga trend ng mga nakakausap ko, para bang naliligaw sila doon sa kanilang tinatopic. No? Kaya we must first listen very carefully. Ano ba yung pine-present nung kalaban natin? Pine-present niya ba na objective o subjective? O dine-deny niya lang? No? Kasi for something to be absolute, there must be an example of an unchanging and absolute truth. But I doubt my opponent will be able to provide any. Even the most objective thing, such as science and math, cannot stand in its own weight of objectivity and absoluteness. And later, I will give you a lot of examples why it is the case. No? Kaya makinig tayong mabuti para makita natin, nag-argue ba sa relativity, si Sir 80? Nag-argue ba sa objectivity or absoluteness yung kalaban niya o hindi? o sinasabi lang o dinideny lang na hindi totoo. Again, no? This discussion is not about Christianity. This is about finding truth. And we already saw, and I have already demonstrated such cases where classical logic can collapse without uh, without destroying the system. No? Ang dami niyan. Hindi lang classical logic ang example natin. I've given examples such as fuzzy logic and para-consistent logic that contradictions, no? Contradictions can exist. So how can we say that truth is absolute or objective if contradictions can exist without collapsing the system? Okay, with that, no, I urge you to be careful in listening, no, and I'm willing to waive my remaining time.
Thank you, Sir 80s teacher, for that wonderful rebuttal. In this rebuttal, Sir 80s teacher emphasized that he's not saying truth does not exist. He emphasized how Sir Jordan Ravanes is begging the question about sa existence ng objective absolute truth. Now, excited na akong mapakinggan kung ano yung rebuttal na sasabihin ni Sir Jordan Ravanes. Go ahead, Sir Jordan Ravanes. You will have 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you, 80 sa rebuttal mo. Sa pre-debate conference namin, isa sa tinanong ko sa kanya doon is if he rejects objective truth. At sumagot siya ng yes doon. And meron akong evidence niyan. kung gusto ninyong mahanap, then I'll be happy to provide those things sa inyo. Now, my opponent assumes that what he was saying tonight, okay, lahat ng mga pinagsasabi niya ngayong gabing ito are objectively true. That I get his position objectively wrong and that my position is objectively wrong. Doon pa lang, that only proves my position. The fact na pinaglalaban niya na ito yung kanyang position and the fact na pinaglalaban din niya na mali yung position ko sa gabing ito, or else wala sanang debate, right? If truth is only relative, like for example, based sa aming dalawa, wala dapat magaganap na debate. Kasi para lang kaming kumakain ng ice cream na hindi namin nagugustuhan pareho kung anong flavor kinakain ng isa sa amin. Now, inescapable po ang subjectivism sa relativism. Meron po silang very close relationship. Inescapable, again, ang subjectivism sa relativism in terms of viewing truth. Sinabi niya rin kanina na hindi ito discussing knowledge. Well, how do you justify, how you define knowledge? Diba? May 3 components. Justified, true, belief. It must be true. At hindi yan dapat relative. Or else, lahat ng pinagsasabi mo ngayon, 80, ay false because it's not true or it's only relative to you. Again, it would not make sense if paiiralin natin yung ganyang klaseng view. It cannot live up to its own standard. And I guess, yan muna sa ngayon. Let's see sa cross-examination later. Sa remaining time ko na 2 minutes more, I will yield it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Jordan Ravanes, for that wonderful rebuttal. In this rebuttal, Sir Jordan Ravanes argued that Sir 80's teacher does not believe in objective truth. He exposes the flaws in relativism, just like what he did in the opening statement, that, you cannot make sense of anything unless there is objective absolute truth. Now, patatagalin pa ba natin? Of course, patatagalin natin kasi commercial muna tayo. Sa mga supporters ng dalawang panig, you can send them coins to show your support. Go ahead. Send your coins. If you're supporters of Sir 80 or Sir Jordan, send them coins. Sa mga nag-i-enjoy dyan sa debate, comment lang kayo sa comment section. Now, here we go. We will proceed now sa discussion phase. And pangungunahan to ni Sir 80. Sir 80's teacher will have 12 minutes open time to question Sir Jordan Ravanes. Okay? Go ahead, Sir 80. This is your time.
Alright. Jordan, dinig ba ako?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Aware ka ba na when you say kanina sa rebuttal mo na relative to him, you're using the wrong words and terminologies because it points out to subjectivity rather than relativity.
Maybe kung i-elaborate mo pa yung ibig mong sabihin, then that would be fine. But as I have said, inescapable ang subjectivism, inescapable ang relativism sa subjectivism.
Okay, so ibig sabihin, you're conflating the two because you cannot distinguish why they are inescapable to each other. Is that the case?
Again, if kaya mo siyang ma-elaborate ngayon, I would be glad to listen.
So ibig sabihin hindi mo narinig yung or hindi mo naintindihan nung nilatag ko yung relativism, yung meaning and definition ng relativism sa opening.
Well, narinig ko. And you must be willing to defend na hindi ba siya, kumbaga parang, kumbaga how am I conflating it? Kaya nga in-encourage kita, elaborate mo.
Okay. So it seems this term needs elaborating.
Yep.
But let's proceed to the next question. Okay. So can you provide an absolute and objective definition of what beauty is?
Beauty? Beauty can only, beauty can only be grounded based sa creator. For example, in the scripture, sinabi, no, we are wonderfully and beautifully made. Yung pagiging imago Dei natin, that presupposes beauty. Tinawag nung nilikha tayo ng Panginoon, sinabi niya sa atin, we have been created as very, very good. Ibig sabihin noon, that presupposes beauty. So for me, that's my, in the Christian worldview, ganun niya ina-account yung objective meaning ng beauty.
Alright. So kung dependent pala sa Christianity yung definition or yung accounting ng beauty, then bakit hindi natin nakikita yung Christianity when it comes to beauty pageants? Why do we have to like made swimsuits, question and answer, and not focus on Christianity kung yan naman pala ang standard ng beauty and objectively and absolutely the definition? Why do you think so?
First of all, siguro, no, it needs elaboration when we use the term beauty kasi beauty can also be attributed, hindi lang sa pagiging tao, can also be attributed sa nature, yung rainbow, sa physical things, so on and so forth. For example, yung rainbow, na-appreciate ko at natatawag ko na beautiful siya dahil again, Diyos ang may likha nitong mundong ito. So meron akong grounding basis for calling something beautiful. So in a relativistic framework, since yun yung grounding basis mo, and again, correct me if I have equivocation sa gusto mo talagang ipaliwanag sa term na relative, but since sinabi ko kanina na inescapable talaga yung subjectivism and relativism, sa point of reference sa'yo, of course, arbitrary sa'yo kung ano na lang yung pwede mong i-call na beauty or not. Sa Christian worldview, we have grounding basis to call these things beautiful. May mas meaningful siya.
Alright. So, yung ina-argue mo, no? Actually, sa relativism, no, hindi problemang i-grant, no, yung sinasabi mo. Bakit? Kasi yung pinagmumulan ng iyong sentiment, yung pinagmumulan ng iyong definition, no, yung measurement na yan is relative to your worldview, which is Christianity. So I think No, kung merong inescapable dito,
Is that a
and you
question?
have to to wait lang, I'm premising my
Okay.
question.
Okay.
No. So, kung merong inescapable dito, no, it would seem na yung relativity in the sense that you can freely and relatively use and anchor, no, yung iyong standard sa iyong worldview. Do you agree? Yun yung question.
Wait lang, ang dami mong sinabi. Paki-frame nga na question type siya, please. Okay lang ba yun sa
Okay.
moderator?
Okay. Sige. Kasi binabase lang naman natin sa paliwanag mo, no?
Sure.
At sa relativity, the beauty of relativity kasi, hindi niya basta dinidisregard yung mga point of reference. So yung sinagot mo, agree ka ba? O, ito na lang, simplihan natin, ano? Agree ka ba na yung sinagot mo is particularly and relatively sa point of reference ng worldview mo, which is Christianity?
I think binring up ko na yan sa sa opening statement ko kanina na just because merong particular preference, culture, kasama na din doon yung worldview differences.
Okay.
Okay, differences.
Okay.
I emphasize differences. Hindi porket meron tayong different of opinions about this and therefore wala nang objective truth.
Okay. So, can you provide one objective and absolute truth
Laws of
just for
logic.
the sake of this discussion?
Laws of
Laws
logic.
of logic. Okay. So, have you heard of paraconsistent logics and fuzzy logics?
Hindi ako equipped doon, pero narinig ko na siya, pero hindi ako equipped doon.
Narinig mo na siya. Okay. So, since narinig mo na siya, are you aware na sa paraconsistent logic, contradictions exist?
Narinig ko na yan kay J.K. Bill ata yun. Inattribute niya na si Jesus Christ ay true contradiction. But
Ayun.
I don't subscribe to that kind of philosophy. Dahil kaya naman siyang i-justify without affirming that philosophy.
All right. So, ganito na lang, no? Do you agree na Jesus is both God and man?
Sure.
All right. So, do you also agree that the nature of a God is different to a nature of a man?
Yes.
All right. So, kung i-ground natin, no, yung concept na ito, don't you think it violates the law of identity and law of non-contradiction? Because they are clearly separate entities.
No.
How would you answer to that?
Very good question. Thank you so much. First of all, if you are familiar with the hypostatic union, Christ added a nature unto himself. Ibig sabihin nun, the law of identity, when we are talking about identity, we are talking about the identity or the person of our Lord Jesus Christ. Sino po yung maingay? God added a nature unto himself. Jesus Christ is still one person, law of identity, that has two natures, namely God, man. So walang na-violate na law of contradiction doon. Maybe you have to point out kung hindi ba logical contradiction yung two natures ng Diyos. And pwede mong i-bring up din siguro kung ito ba ay, like for example, can God, is it impossible for God to add a physical nature kahit hindi nawala yung kanyang pagka-Diyos? So, pwedeng ganun i-frame siguro yung question. That would be great.
So, since binanggit mo kanina, no? So that Jesus is both man and God, objectively true. Is that correct? Confirm ko lang.
Objectively true, yes.
Yeah. All right. So how would you account for different interpretations, no, of nature of God? So do you have, shall we say, the authority to monopolize what should be the nature of God? Do you have an authority to do that or not?
Well, my authority comes from the scripture. Whatever the scripture reveals, we read, we understand, we use tools. We call it, medyo maingay po. We call it, Hermeneutics, we read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. We call that yung progress of Revelation. We call that biblical theology. We also study language, exegetical theology. And of course, ginagrant din namin yung tinatawag naming systematics or systematic theology. Now, in terms of differences of interpretation, I think nilatag ko na din ito. Sakop ito sa nilatag ko sa aking opening statement kanina na hindi porket may differences in reading, therefore the document, the Bible itself doesn't have an objective meaning to it. That's my
Right.
answer.
So, I think dahil last 2 minutes na lang, no, this would be my final question.
Sure.
Can you define, no, and prove the objectivity and absoluteness of truth without assuming it?
Well, I can't. It's a necessary precondition for knowledge. Ulitin ko po, I cannot. Number one, because Jesus is the truth. He is my foundation. He is my foundation of my truth. And that without Christ, I cannot even make sense of everything that I am saying right now. Even yung mga knowledge na mga sinasabi ko ngayon presupposes the very nature of truth. Dahil nga, truth by nature is necessary. And if truth by nature is relative, then therefore hindi yan necessary. Relative lang talaga yan sa kung sino, yung sinasabi mo kanina na point of reference. And since ang mga tao, kung gagawin natin siyang point of reference ng truth at mananatili lang sa kanya, then it's impossible for him to know universal things that exist like laws of logic and truth. So there is again, sinabi ko sa opening statement ko kanina, there is an impossibility of knowledge once the necessary truth is rejected. And that's why, Mr. 80, in this debate, you lost.
Wave na natin. Sige. Let's give him a chance to ask questions.
All right. So, Sir 80 is waiving his time. So, that is a good change of words from the both panelists. Now, dumako naman tayo sa 12 minutes discussion pace ni Sir Jordan Ravanes. Go ahead, Sir Jordan Ravanes. 12 minutes for you.
Okay. Salamat, Ilo. Okay, my first question would be, binanggit mo yung kanina yung salitang axioms. Am I right in hearing that term coming from you?
Yeah, you're right. I did mention axioms.
Okay, are they necessary?
Are they necessary? Yes, they're necessary for convenience because axiom give meaning and stability. No? It also provides a measurement of convenience. Ibig sabihin nito, no, because of axioms, no, we can agree that certain things is applicable. No, and magagamit natin yan in some sense relative, no? Relative doon sa ginagamit nating measurement or metric. And sometimes, no, those axioms do not apply. That's why relative siya.
Lahat ng sinabi mo sa sagot sa tanong ko kanina, is that objectively true?
Okay, even if no, I answer it with a yes or no, that doesn't prove no your point as an objectivist because no we can discern truth in terms of a lot of things. That's why there are a lot of theories in truth. No, one is correspondence theory. Number two, no, is pragmatic theory. No, merong deflationary theory, merong coherence theory. So I think it's a categorical error to ask me whether that is objectively true or false because I'm not arguing for objectivity. I'm arguing for utility.
Okay. So basically, yung sagot mo sa akin kanina regarding axioms, yung sagot mo na yon is not necessarily true.
You have to provide no a case whether it is objectively true and not relatively true. Yun ang magiging sagot natin diyan kasi yung necessary truths can appear in both, no, in both objectivity, like what Christians say, and it can also appear in relativity, like in my case. So hindi hindi yan problem sa relativity.
Okay. Na-mention ko kanina sa rebuttal ko na in our pre-debate conference, tinanong kita about correspondence theory of truth. Na hindi ito, nire-reject mo ang objective truth. Am I right?
I'm sorry, you lost me there. Can you rephrase? Kasi you jump from correspondence to objectivity. Can you rephrase?
Okay. Sige, ganito na lang yung tanong ko. Define correspondence theory of truth.
All right. So correspondence theory of truth pertains to truths that is reflected in reality. It corresponds with reality.
Okay.
That's what correspondence of truth means.
Okay. So, the very nature of correspondence of truth in a relativistic framework, is that also relative?
That's circular questioning. Can you rephrase that without circularity?
Hindi. At ang tinatanong ko kasi yung pinaka-nature ba ng definition ng correspondence theory of truth. For example, gagamit na lang ako ng example.
Alright.
Nag-uusap tayo ngayon, okay? AT and Jordan is debating. That's one example of what we call correspondence theory of truth. Is that objectively true?
No, it won't. Because in a place where they have no information about what is happening here, they cannot make sense of that statement. That statement only applies to a point of reference dito sa mga viewers, sa platform, sa mga nakakaalam. Pero in a sense, no, that no people knew about what is happening, they cannot consider that as true. And it is not true in their sense.
So, ibig sabihin, just because they are not aware of what's happening right now, therefore, hindi na siya objectively true? Yun ba yung naririnig ko?
No, hindi ko sinasabi.
Okay.
Hindi siya objectively true because they don't have access to that truth. They cannot make sense of that truth. It doesn't matter, no? Kung nandito sila, of course, that would be true. That would be their point of reference. Pero kung wala sila dito, they won't be able to discern that truth. Which means
Okay.
it won't be even be true. It won't be even be true.
I think nakuha ko naunawaan ko naman yung sagot mo kanina. 'Di ba, wala silang knowledge, yung mga taong wala dito, wala silang knowledge that we are debating. Pero ito yung nangyayari sa reality via definition of correspondence theory of truth. Is that
In a point, in a point
Is that
of
objective?
reference that we are here. In a point of reference that we are here. Look, when you talk about objectivity, what do you mean? 'Di ba? Ngayon,
That corresponds with
hindi mo kailangan
reality.
sumagot. Wait.
Okay.
Hindi mo kailangan sumagot kasi that would be rhetorical kasi nasa opening ko 'yan. Ngayon, if you mean that independent of the mind, this thing that is happening which is true is not independent of the mind. So what do you mean what do you mean by that being objective?
When I say being objective, nag-a-appeal pa rin ako dun sa very definition ng correspondence theory of truth. Truth that's which
No.
corresponds
Sige,
with
go ahead.
truth that's which corresponds with reality. At yung
Okay.
at yung nangyayari sa reality ngayon, okay? What's really happening is that we are debating. Now, ang question ko is, regardless kung may mga taong nanonood sa atin, yung mga tao na hindi nanonood sa atin dito ay walang knowledge about this, hindi nila na-witness to, would this still be true kahit wala silang alam dito?
It wouldn't be true because correspondence need access. If you don't have access to that reality, it would be an assumption. It wouldn't be true. Again, ulitin ko yung point ko. No? Ang point ko, when you talk about correspondence, you need access to that reality. No? Hindi nila ma-access yun kasi wala sila dito. So, paano nila i-consider na true yung proposition mo kung wala silang access sa correspondence na yun? Yun ang problem dyan. Kasi reliant yan eh. Yung reality na pinrepresuppose ng correspondence theory of truth you must have access to that, no? Hindi lang basta sasabihin nila, objectively true, even though they don't have access to that reality. So, they need access. Kasama yan.
AT, are you saying that a reality can only be a reality if may access ang tao dito? Kung wala silang access sa reality na yun,
No.
it wouldn't be a reality.
No. Remember, Jordan, we're arguing about truth and not reality. So when I talk about that, it only supports, no, my claim about truth. Kasi you cannot consider something true if you don't have access to that. No? Ganun lang kasimple yun. Hindi ko ina-argue na this is about correspondence or reality. Ang ina-argue ko, no, you can consider something as true if you have access to it. And if you don't have access to it, you cannot consider that true. Yun ang problem dyan.
Okay, sige, siguro mag-move on na lang ako dyan. Can you define knowledge?
I would take, no, the classical definition, no, na justified true belief.
Yung true doon, relative lang ba yun?
Yes, that's relative.
Okay. So, for example, meron tayong belief about knowledge of truth. So, sa'yo relative, sa akin objective. If that's the case then, na relative lang sa atin since magkaiba tayo ng point of reference, then paano natin mako-consider na knowledge talaga itong mga pinagsasabi natin ngayon?
May mga underlying factors kasi dyan, Jordan, ano? Yung kasi ang mahirap sa presuppositionalism yung i-ground mo lang yung knowledge sa worldview mo. Pero etong sagot talaga, no? Kasi when you talk about knowledge, and since binrought up mo, no, yung true doon, dyan napapasok, no, yung different theories of truth. Do you consider that true because it is beneficial? One, pragmatic theory of truth. Do you consider that true if it corresponds with reality, correspondence theory of truth? If it is logically consistent, you can consider that as true. Alright? So, yung tatlo lang na yun nagpapakita na relative siya Kasi depende kung anong gagamitin mong measurement ng truth. Correspondence ba? Coherence ba? Pragmatism ba? To consider that statement is true. So, if you heard about Gettier, this is actually what he is trying to argue. Na the problem with knowledge yung assumption na kasama dito. Yung assumption na alam mo yung sinasabi mo at alam mo yung isang bagay. That's why a lot of people think they have knowledge and equivocate it to truth even though they are far more different things that we should consider rather than yung knowledge lang at sasabihin mo, I know it. Ayan.
Should I believe everything that you say as true?
All right. The trueness, no? The truthfulness of what I'm saying is not dependent on your belief. Kasi yung dependency, no, sa belief, it's your subjective intuition if you want to believe it or not. But what I'm trying to argue here, no, nakikita ba natin yung relativity sa truth, no? O hindi? At naipakita ko naman diyan do sa pangaparaan ng pagsagot ko na when we talk about truths, whether you believe it or not, as long as you have a relative measurement of what true is, no? It doesn't matter if you want to believe me or not. But what I'm arguing, kasi baka ma-confuse kayo, no? Kasi ginamit niya yung term na belief. Walang kinalaman yung belief sa truthfulness. No, kasi yung belief is your personal conviction, while truthfulness is a metric of what true is. All right? So, yun lang. Kung meron ka pang tanong sa 20 seconds. Yeah.
Is it reasonable for me to believe something that is false?
We are not talking about reasonableness. We are talking about truthfulness and its relativity or objectivity. And naipakita ko naman, no, kanina, na relative talaga ang truth.
Ayan, time na. Thank you so much. Congratulations sa inyong dalawa for being professional. Kudos. I mean, I cannot say anything more. Opening to discussion phase, Ben 5 minutes. Napakagandang exchange of thoughts ang nangyari. Pwede naman palang magkaroon ng ganitong debate na walang sigawan, na walang objection moderator. So I'm encouraging everyone to make this discussion type debate popular. So there will always be a very productive conversation. Now, let's proceed sa closing statement ni Sir Jordan Rovanes. You will have 7 minutes, Sir Jordan. Go ahead.
All right. When I say all right, that's objective. So yeah, thank you so much once again for this great opportunity for me to have a discussion with AT and sa mga tao din na nakakapakinig dito. I hope na hindi ko nasayang yung mga oras ninyo, naging beneficial ito sa inyo. So let me begin my closing statement with, kasi masyadong mabilis, kakatapos lang ng ano, at hindi kasi ito premeditated. Just wanna say na eh, ang mga tao na nakikinig sa atin ngayon na nag-iisip must see the inconsistency or how the worldview of AT collapse on its own terms. Tinanong ko lang siya ng very basic question. Is it reasonable for me to believe things that are false? He cannot even answer that right off the bat. Straight away. Why? Again, because sinosuppress niya yung sinasabi sa Romans 1 because he is continually suppressing the knowledge of truth in unrighteousness. In exchange, he is exchanging God for a lie. He's exchanging Christ for a lie. Mas pipiliin niyang maniwala sa lie or sa false kaysa sa truth. Alam niya in his heart of hearts, alam niya kung ano yung tamang sagot doon. It is not right for us to believe things that are false. And that statement is objectively true, though. So you see, his worldview as a relativist collapses on its own. May mga importanteng bagay na pinipresuppose si AT sa mga debate ngayon, such as laws of logic. Yung consistency ng kanyang mind, dapat masustain yon. Sinusustain lang po yun because we have such laws like logic that governs our thinking. Kahit walang umuutos kay AT maging consistent ka sa reasoning mo. Something, okay, from his conscience is motivating him to be consistent. Now, as a relativist, why bother? Since naniniwala ka na that true contradictions are possible? Why bother reason when no one is even motivating you to be consistent truthfully? It doesn't make sense in a relativistic framework. In a worldview that Jesus Christ is the truth and that he prescribes Christian to be consistent, to be truthful, to be loving, to worship him, to give him praise, to do what is right, to do what is true, we have a great motivation for doing things that are right and true, morally, intellectually, emotionally, all-encompassing. Lahat sa faculty ng mga tao, merong reason ang tao kung bakit siya dapat maging consistent sa mga pinagsasabi niya at kinoconsider niya yun as true. Again, in a relativistic framework, dapat si AT walang pakialam sa mga sinasabi ko ngayon because for me, true lang ito sa worldview ko. Mas may pakialam lang siya. He would not even, if he's trying to be consistent, okay, if AT is just a bit, gusto niya maging consistent sa worldview niya ngayon, magpopulate siya in such a manner na kung saan relatively true sa kanya kahit offensive sa iba. Why? Kasi wala siyang moral ground basis of truth. Na iga-ground niya yung kanyang mga actions. Walang nagpe-prescribe sa kanya na gawin mo, maging ethical ka, maging mabuti ka. maging consistent ka sa mga sinasabi mo para maiintindihan ka nila. I am not saying this in a conclusion. I am saying this because these things are necessary for 80. At hindi matatapos itong gabi na ito kung hindi ko kayo i-encourage lahat na manampalataya kay Jesus Christ. He is the way, the truth, and the life. You may not acknowledge your sin now, but you will acknowledge your sin in the future. Kung hindi man ngayon, maaaring sa pagbalik ni Kristo or maaaring pag dinatnan tayo ng ating mga kamatayan, you will still acknowledge Him regardless. So sa mga nakakapakinig nito, na merong tengang pandinig, same sa sinasabi ni Jesus Christ, ay makinig at manampalataya kay Jesus. Siya lang yung taking pag-asa natin. Christ didn't just die to save sinners from their sin. Christ also died to save even our wicked reasoning, corrupt reasoning, yung mga reasoning natin na absurd. Christ also died to save those faculties or mental faculties natin. So yeah, entrust everything to Him sa mga nakakapakinig dito. And I am sincere. I'm not mocking 80 or any way. Kahit na may ginawa si 80 sa akin na medyo offensive. I mean, di lang medyo offensive, but very offensive. So, I forgive 80 for that. But yeah, because we are, again, motivated, commanded to forgive sins. There is truth in Christianity. And without Christ, there is no truth, or you cannot account or even justify truth. Hanggang dyan na lang po ang aking closing statement. Once again, thank you so much, Ilo, at sa mga nag-organize ng debate na ito. Thank you po sa inyo, and thank you, Sir 80. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Sir Jordan Ravanes, for that beautiful closing statement. Dumako naman tayo kay Sir 80's teacher. You will have 7 minutes. Go ahead.
Alright. No? I-address ko lang na parehas naman kami may ginawang offensive sa isa't isa. Oo, kasi nagka-cut siya ng video sa conversation. So, 'di ba? Anyway, so binanggit niya yung Christianity, Jesus is the truth, sabi niya. Sa ancient Egypt, hindi si Jesus ang truth. Si Horus ang truth sa ancient Egypt. Relatively, no? Jesus being the truth applies only to Christianity sa point of reference ng Christianity. At wala siyang naipakitang objective truth. No? Sinasabi niya lang na it collapses, we must assume knowledge, ang foundation ng hindi naman presuppositional argument to Di ba? Sinabi ko sa opening statement ko, kung nakinig kayo, I acknowledge there is truth. No? Ngayon, ang problema, kapag wala kang maipakita, i-scrutinize mo na lang yung topic kaysa ipakita mo o i-prove mo na objective or absolute ang truth. Umpisa pa lang, binasag ko na Mathematical truths, hindi objective, hindi absolute. Scientific truths, hindi objective, hindi absolute. Logical truths, hindi objective, hindi absolute. Asa ng objectivity? No? Asa ng absoluteness? Wala. Again, lagi niyang pino-point out kanina pa sa rebuttal niya, sa cross-examination, yung subjectivity, yung sinasabi niyang belief, it's a matter of subjectivity. 'Di ba? Yung reasonableness, it's a matter of subjectivity. It seems that my opponent doesn't know what he's talking about pagka ganyan. Hindi niya alam yung ina-argue niya, yung pinag-uusapan namin. Pinag-uusapan ba namin ng subjectivity? Kaya nga ang sagot ko, even if I answer it in a yes or no format, hindi pa rin related yan sa topic. Kasi hindi natin pinag-uusapan yung subjectivity. Pinag-uusapan natin, patunayan mong objective yan. Wala naman siya naipakita. No? Again, yung relativism ng truth is not assuming objectivity. Kung sa mga proponent ng classical logic, na yung classical logic lang yung alam, katulad ni Jordan, no, na hindi nag-aral ng para consistent logic at fuzzy logic, iisipin nila, ina-assume ko yung objectivity sa relative truth. Hindi ina-assume ko yung utility, hindi objectivity. No? So, ayan mahirap pagka-constrain ka dun sa alam mong method, no, na laging nagwo-work, yung presuppositionalism, akala nila nagwo-work, eh hindi mo naaaralin yung iba. Yun ang problem. No, pangalawa, no? Hindi natin pinag-uusapan yung knowledge. Again, ang topic, truth is relative. And I guess, I think na ipakita ko naman sa inyo kung bakit siya relative, no? Yung mga objectivists diyan sa comment, wag mo na masaktan. No, wag mo na kayong masaktan kasi pinapakita ko yung problem sa objectivity nyo. Ngayon, no, kung merong gustong humamon ulit, yung ipitan, hindi katulad nung ayaw ni Jordan na ipitan, hamunin nyo ako. Eto ulit ng topic. Baka gusto nyo, no? Kung talagang tingin nyo, objective ang truth, no? Na kahit si Jordan, walang naipakita. Na kahit si revealed reason, walang naipakitang objective truth. No? Lahat relative, no? Kasi ang problem, hindi niya mag-grasp, no? Hindi niya mag-grasp yung difference ng subjectivity sa relativity. Kasi tingin niya, lahat ng truth objective eh. Pero wala namang pinakita. Wala namang provide na argument na objective ang truth. No? Ang inargue niya, knowledge. Inargue niya, belief. Ang inargue niya, no? Yung statements. Totoo ba ika yan? Hindi ganun. No? This discussion is not about semantics and assumption. This is about proving me wrong. Ang tanong, napatunayan niya bang mali ako? 'Di ba? Napatunayan niya bang mali ako? May naipakita ba siya kahit isa? No? May naipakita ba siya kahit isa na objective truth? Wala. No? Hindi ko pa nga nilatag yung moral truths eh. Hindi ko pa nilatag yan. Di lalo na pagka nilatag ko yan. No? Ang mahirap, no? Yung gusto niya, discussion, yung walang ipitan. Pero nagrereklamo siya kanina, hindi ko daw masagot ng diretso. Ayaw mo ng diretsong sagutan eh. Ayaw mo nang ipitan, tapos magrereklamo ka, bakit hindi ako sumagot ng diretso? Eto yung gusto mong topic. No? Pinagbigyan na nga kita eh. No? Pinabayaan na kita sa gusto mo. No? So again, makikita natin, to close my statements, no? Na wala siya kahit isang ipinrovide na objective truth. Hindi niya napatunayan, mali ang relative truth. No? Wala din siyang napatunayan na absolute truth. Kasi umpisa pa lang, na-preempt ko na, sa opening pa lang, pinakita ko na hindi sila absolute, na hindi sila objective. No? So, again, we have to thank all the viewers sa mga nakinig at nakaintindi. Maraming salamat sa mga sumuporta. Maraming salamat kay Jordan dahil pinaunlakan niya ako dito. No? Naakala niya mas makakaligtas siya pagka hindi ipitan. Si revealed reason. Pero hindi eh. Diba? So, ganyan lang kasimple mga kaibigan, mga kapatid, sa mga nakikinig. No? Balikan niyo yung video. I urge you, balikan niyo yung video. May naipakita ba siya, si revealed reason, si Jordan, na objective truth? Wala. Diba? Even their most hypocritical statement that Christianity is true can only be relatively true sa kanilang worldview as Christians. No? And if I would appeal, no? I would appeal to the people who are able to discern truths. Mali ang Christianity. Napakarami sa mundo, hindi Kristiyano. No? Actually, ito maganda sa relativism. Lenient ka, pwede mo ibigay sa kanila. Yeah, that's true in your relative point of view. But it is not true in the else of the world. And tonight, we have proven that truth is relative and not objective. And I thank you.
Ayan, thank you so much sa dalawang panelists natin. That is again a congratulations to the both of you. Magkakaroon nga pala tayo ng 10 minutes na Q&A. Sa mga gustong mag-up dyan, request lang kayo. One question per guest. So, akyat lang kayo sa mga gustong umakyat sa Q&A portion natin. 10 minutes SP. Go ahead, pakiset ng timer. So, ako muna yung magtatanong sa dalawa nating panelists. Ang tanong ko kay Sir Jordan. Sir Jordan, andyan ka ba?
Yes po.
Ito ang tanong ko sa iyo, Sir Jordan, no? Kung ang differences, disagreement, ay hindi nagpapakita na walang absolute truth, ano naman yung falsification method mo para ma-convince ka na truth is relative? Ano dapat yung titingnan mo para ma-convince ka na truth is relative kung hindi differences, disagreement? Go ahead.
God must not exist.
Ayun. God does not exist.
God must not exist.
Okay, God must not exist. Yun yung sagot ni Sir Jordan Ravanes. Next, dumako naman tayo kay Sir 80. May tanong din ako sa'yo, Sir 80. Go ahead.
Madaya ka. One question per guest, tapos ikaw dadalawa ka.
Siyempre, moderator
Tanong
ko
lang.
dito. Ibababa ko kayo
Tanong
lahat.
lang.
Sige, go
Sige,
ahead.
go. Tanong.
So, you talk about liar paradox that seems to violate the law of non-contradiction, di ba? Ang
Yeah.
tanong ko naman sa iyo, Sir 80, 'di ba hindi ka nga naniniwala sa absolute truth? So, does it
Ah.
absolutely contradict the law of non-contradiction? If it absolutely violate the law of non-contradiction, then kahit na yung para consistent logic, it still follows the law of non-contradiction because it cannot be both not violating and violating at the same time. It's either bina-violate niya or hindi niya bina-violate. So it still follows the law of non-contradiction. Ano yung sagot mo doon, Sir?
Hindi. Actually, yan lang naman ang weapon ng mga objectivist eh. Yung gumamit ng circular questioning. So, sana na-gets mo yung question mo, no? Kasi, ang pinapakita, no, ng para consistent logic is that classical logic, no, is not the only measurement for finding truth, but rather it's just one tool relative to a philosophical inquiry, no? Pero sa ibang sense, relatively it applies that contradiction exists. Yan nga yung pinapatunayan natin ngayong gabi. And it proves, no? It proves, yung para consistent logic proves, even hindi lang sa logical proposition, kung hindi maging sa science. Remember, the double slit experiment, Ilo. Remember that particle can act as a wave and, alam niyo na yung kasunod niyan. Di ba? So, ganun lang kasimple sagutin yan. Ang pinapakita lang natin dito, relative siya.
Sige. Ayan, so, okay. Sa mga hindi tinatanong, Sir Itis, Sir Jordan Ravanes, pakimute muna. Then, let's go to Overture. Overture, go ahead. Pili ka ng tatanungin mo. One question, go ahead.
Si Sir 80 po. Congrats nga pala sa inyong dalawa.
Hi. Okay.
Question kay Sir 80. Paki-correct na lang kung paano ko furnish yung question. No? Are the laws
Sige.
of thermodynamics absolute or
No.
relative siya?
No. No. Alam mo kung bakit? Relative yan kung anong ginagamit mong measurement. Kung may iba kang measurement na maipoprovide, maipapakita niyan, hindi yan absolute. Okay? Ngayon, bakit nasabing relative yan? Relative yan dito sa universe natin. And there are hypotheses that there are many universes. How are you sure na that applies to other universes as well? Okay? The fact that we cannot, but wait lang po. Okay, yun lang. Thank you, Overture. I hope nakuha mo naman.
Sino
Thank you
next
po,
naman?
thank you po.
Census, go ahead. Census, are you there?
Si Java muna, Java.
Java, go ahead. Sinong gusto mong tanungin? Wag lang si SP. Pwede mo akong tanungin, sir. Hindi ka lang
Si
sa dalawa.
80 po.
Go ahead,
Si
sir.
80 po sana.
Okay.
May tanong po ako, 'di ba ang stand niya po is truth is relative. Ang tanong ko pa i-accept niyo po ba yung yung totoo sa iba na makaka-harm sa iyo?
I-accept ko ba yung totoo sa iba na makaka-harm sa akin?
Apo.
Kahit sagutin ko yan ng yes or no, it can be either way. Kasi there are circumstances in morality, no? Whereas we opt to be hurt sometimes. Magbibigay ako ng halimbawa, no? Rock climbing, napakahirap ng rock climbing, no? Beneficial yan sa group in a sense of fun, but not beneficial in yourself, lalo na pagka hindi ka equipped. So, of course, it may seem, no, na ikukulong mo sa mga dichotomy na ganyan, pero hindi lang yan ang sagot dyan.
Okay po, sige. Thank you po.
Senses. Go ahead, Senses. Baka may question ka na.
Sir Jordan, okay. Ito yung tanong ko, Sir Jordan.
Yes.
Okay. Kung ang view ba ng tao ng truth is relative, ang magiging epekto niya, ang magiging cause niya is chaotic or chaos. Ganun.
Salamat sa tanong, Senses. By necessary implication, yes, dahil ang mga tao is, kung walang Diyos, no, is geared toward survival. And if that's the case, then even yung point of lying, stealing, killing, murdering, if this works for me, for my survival, then yeah, accept ko yun. Now, in a worldview na may Christian God, again, in-emphasize ko to kanina sa closing ko, we are geared towards truth because Jesus Christ is the truth. So, we have a moral basis of truth na to be consistent with what we are thinking, sumagot ng tama, hindi magsinungaling, hindi maging dishonest, so on and so forth. So, we are geared towards truth.
Sir Jordan, chaotic yung yung magiging resulta niya.
Yes, opo.
Yeah.
Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. Yes.
Can I answer senses as well?
Ano yun?
Okay,
Sir.
okay lang ba? Yun, okay lang.
Did we
Okay.
in-agree ba natin yun sa pre-debate?
I think bawal ka, Sir 80. Like,
Sige.
question
Huwag
na
na-
pertaining kay Sir
Get
Jordan.
tayo dito. So, next, si Sir Blind. Sir Blind, go ahead.
Hello, thank you. Question kay Sir 80.
Yan. Sige.
Tanong ko kasi sabi mo kanina, possible ang true contradictions.
Mhm.
Ngayon, kung i-assess mo lahat nung sinabi mo, kung hindi ka ba talaga nagbibigay ng mga contradictory statements, hindi ba i-assume mo muna ang absolute logic?
No. Hindi mo kailangan i-assume ang absolute logic. Actually, even logic, no, even Aristotle, no, understands that classical logic will only work if it's axiomatic. Ibig sabihin, tinatanggap ng mga nag-uusap, no? Ngayon, of course, tatanggapin natin yan kasi nga axiom yan eh, no? Pero what if not? No? Paano kung hindi? Then it will not work. Kasi we live in a world of relativistic truths. No, ang pruweba niyan walang naibigay yung katunggali natin. Sige, go. Next.
Next, Daikas, go ahead.
I have a question to Sir Jordan.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and Sir Jordan, you have mentioned many times Jesus because Jesus Christ is the truth.
Yes.
How is this related to the discussion? I mean, we're talking about knowing about the truth. For example, I could say we are both talking right now, and this is true because Jesus Christ is true. Are you trying to say that? I mean, Jesus Christ is the truth.
Okay. Let me answer it. Since Jesus Christ is the necessary foundation of truth, lahat po ng mga pinagsasabi natin necessarily relies on His person. That's the very reason why the statement in John 14:6, Jesus Christ is the truth, is very relevant to this topic, without which, or without Christ, lahat ng pinagsasabi natin dito would not make sense because Christ is the necessary foundation for the laws of logic. We presuppose logic when we think, when we say something. Again, we strive to be consistent. So, si AT, walang foundation, walang prescriptive foundation to be consistent. Ako meron. So, again, tingnan natin ito in worldview framework. Yung mga pinagsasabi ni AT na AT dito ay hindi po isolated facts sa kanya, kundi yan po ay nakabase sa kung anong worldview niya in metaphysics, epistemology, and logic. So yeah, Christ is necessary sa discussion na ito.
Ayan. Thank you, Daikas, for your question. Go ahead, Tinker Tank. Sino tatanungin mo sa dalawa?
Okay, thank you so much. Si AP.
Go ahead, Sir 80. May question si
Wala
Tinker.
nang time. Pero dahil love ko si Tinker Tank, sige, pagtatanungin ko.
Sige.
Okay, ito lang, Sir 80. Within the framework of, like yung mathematical systems, alam ko tinapid nyo ito. Yung 2 plus
Yep.
2 ba is equals consistent absolute or not?
No.
The framework
No,
of
hindi na.
mathematical system.
In terms of Euclidean geometry, no, and other logical systems, hindi nagwo-work always yan. Pinakita ko kanina yan eh. No? Kasi babaguhin lang naman natin eh. 2 plus 2, gawin natin 1 plus 1, CJ, no? So, yung 1 drop of water plus 1 drop of water is not equal to 2. So, it doesn't always work. We just have to accept, no, that it is 2. Axiomatic again.
Iti arithmetic Thank you.
Oh, arithmetic yan Euclidean, non-Euclidean geometry, hindi ba math yan?
Ayan. Okay, sige. I think eto na yung ano. So again, thank you sa mga nanood ng debate na to. Sana marami kayong natutunan. Actually, in-enjoy ko yung debate na to habang kumakain ako. Shoutout sa mga viewers natin, shoutout sa mga nagbigay ng gifts, and shoutout din sa mga, supporters ng both panelists natin. So I think that's all for now. So